What if the greatest geographical discovery in human history didn't begin with Christopher Columbus? What if, 200 years earlier, a West African emperor launched a fleet so massive, so advanced, and so mysterious that even today historians struggle to explain it? This is the forgotten story of Mansa Abu Bakr II, the man who may have led thousands of Africans across the Atlantic Ocean long before Europe ever dreamed of doing so. This is the story they don't teach in school, the story many textbooks avoid, and the story that reshapes everything we think we know about world history. Before we talk about voyages, we need to talk about power. And in the 14th century, no empire on earth was more powerful than the Mali Empire. Its cities, Niani, Timbuktu, and Gao, were centers of mathematics, astronomy, literature, and global trade. Caravans carried gold so abundant that Arab historians said, "Mali is a land where gold grows in the soil like fruit on a tree." This was the world of Mansa Abu Bakr II, uncle of the legendary Mansa Musa. But while Musa dreamed of Mecca, Mansa Abu Bakr dreamed of something far more dangerous: the edge of the world, the horizon, the great Western Ocean, the Atlantic, and he wanted to know what lay beyond it. Arab historian al-Umari, writing in Cairo in the 1300s, recorded the only surviving eyewitness account of what happened next. According to him, Abu Bakr ordered a massive fleet of ships to sail west across the Atlantic and return only when they found land. So they built them. Large river and ocean hybrids, reinforced hulls, advanced sail designs, and cargo storage for months of food. This wasn't fantasy. The Malians were master boat builders who had dominated the Niger River for centuries. The expedition set out. Days passed, then weeks, then months. Only one ship ever returned. The captain told Abu Bakr, "We sailed until the sea changed. The water began to flow like a river beneath us. I could not continue. The others disappeared into it." Modern oceanographers admit that this is exactly what ships experience when entering the North Atlantic equatorial current, a powerful natural sea river that leads straight towards the Americas. Abu Bakr's response? He prepared a second voyage, a far bigger one. If this story were fiction, the next part would be unbelievable. Abu Bakr II ordered the construction of a fleet larger than almost any seen in medieval history. 2,000 ships, 1,000 carrying men, 1,000 carrying food, water, and supplies. It became the largest Atlantic expedition ever launched until the 20th century. This time, Abu Bakr wasn't sending explorers. He was going with them. Why? Because he believed discovery was more important than ruling Mali. So, in the year 1211, he abdicated the throne, gave it to Mansa Musa, and sailed into the Atlantic with thousands of sailors. Mali had become so wealthy and stable that its emperor could leave everything behind in search of a new world.
Here is where evidence gets fascinating. Various clues from anthropology, linguistics, botany, and archaeology suggest that African travelers may have reached the Americas. When Columbus arrived, indigenous people told him of black men who came from the east in large boats, carrying weapons made of gold. Columbus himself wrote this clearly. Anthropologists have long debated the carved giant heads of the Olmec civilization in Mexico. Some have facial features resembling West African peoples. Not proof, but a strong clue. Botanists found traces of African cotton species, African gourds in pre-Columbian American sites. How did they cross the Atlantic before Columbus? Some gold artifacts in Central America have the exact chemical signature of West African gold mines, meaning the gold traveled, or the people carrying it did. Modern scholars debate Abu Bakr's expeditions endlessly. Some say it was impossible. Others say nothing in this story violates physics or known naval technology of Mali. And many agree it is statistically impossible that Africans never reached the Americas, especially with the Atlantic currents directly connecting West Africa to Brazil and the Caribbean. If Vikings crossed the ocean in tiny wooden boats, if Polynesians reached South America from the Pacific, why is it so hard to believe that the richest empire in medieval Africa could do the same? In the end, we may never know with 100% certainty where Abu Bakr's fleet landed or if he survived the journey. But this we do know. He was a ruler who gave up the greatest throne in the world, not for wealth, not for conquest, but for curiosity, a dream, a question, a horizon. And sometimes that is what pushes humanity forward. If this is your first time on Roots and Empires, welcome. Here we uncover the lost, the hidden, and the erased moments of African and world history. Make sure you subscribe, because next week we explore another hidden chapter, one that will change the way you see the past forever.